Hey friends, welcome back to Mustard Seed Homesteading. My name is Megan for anyone that's new here, and today what we're doing is taking our weekly look at the backyard garden, but I also have a few things I want to share with you on the driveway as well. For those that have seen the video, the restart, the replant, and refresh for the green stalks, we are going to start on the driveway because that particular green stalk that we planted a few weeks back, friends, the cabbage, the collards, the pink beauty amaranth, and all of the other things that we started in there has not only grown, but they've gotten massive, so we're going to start down there first. All right, so here is the green stalk that we had replanted in that one video. Friends, look at how big, look at how large and how much the cabbage has grown. Now I will tell you, I have been picking off little cabbage worms. You can see all the little holes, but because it's right by my door and it's in the green stalk, it's so easy to maintain and just come outside and check. And so far everything is growing really nice. And you guys, look at this pink beauty amaranth. I have never seen anything so pink. Now I've grown the magenta Swiss chard and I think it's ruby red, and those are beautiful colors, but look at this pink. And I love how there's so many shoots of leaves that are shooting out. Now I haven't harvested and I have not tried this yet, but I think we're going to harvest a few today just because I want to try it, and it's just so pretty. And I love how it's producing shoots out the sides of the plant, which makes me feel like not only is it pretty, but it's going to be a good producer. So I just had to show this to you. And look at this, friends. This is a Georgia collard. I've never grown Georgia collards before, but I am beyond impressed. And look at how large this one leaf is. It is so big. I don't think I've ever grown anything so large before. I am incredibly impressed. Now I will say these are the starts that I bought from the nursery, so I'm not really sure if those have anything to do with it being so large and lush. Not to say my starts aren't, because I started these starts right here and they're beautiful, but the cabbages and the Georgia collards are from the nursery, and so far they were worth the 54 cents per start. And these are also the same plants that I have in the wood bed that we're going to be taking a look at when we get up there. And then we also have the broccoli down here, and I have the Swiss chard. Everything else here I did start from seed, and everything is growing so nicely. Something I do want to quickly point out, this kale plant, you can see a lot of the leaves were taken off, and it wasn't because I harvested, it was because we had some bug damage. You can see some of the kale leaf right here has some damage, but what I do is I just take it off, because if you can see that middle part, I'm trying to zoom in so you can see it right here, it will just keep producing, and that's what I do so I don't throw away my kale plants. I'll show you an example of one that I took out of one of the green stalks that I planted the garlic in. It's a red Russian, and I thought it was a goner, and I'll show you guys in just a second not to throw your kale leaves out if the middle is still producing leaves. All right, so here's the example of what I was talking about. So I transplanted this into a grow bag because I had to plant my garlic in the green stalk that it was in, so it's not looking the best. It's still kind of getting settled into its new home, but you can see right in the middle all of those green leaves that are growing. Let's see if my camera can get focused. All of these pieces right here. And what's interesting is that the middle was actually taken out, and these are two shoots on the side of the kale plant from the original plant. And that's what I've learned as I have been growing kale, not to necessarily throw it away, but if you just get rid of like the dead leaves here, which I need to take these out actually. If you get rid of the dead leaves, and sometimes you can eat the stems, by the way, if they're still good, because those are just as good and nutritious. But you get rid of the dead leaves and allow the good leaves, the healthy leaves, to start producing, and you guys, your kale plant will be fine. All right, so I just actually took off all of the dead leaves right here. We're gonna toss those, and I'm gonna let this hopefully produce more kale leaves for me in this grow bag. And also, friends, I did not take out the red cayenne pepper that was in here, and I just noticed there's two red ones, and I'm not doing a green stalk garden tour and harvest for a little while, so I am actually going to take these off, and we're gonna harvest them now. I also wanted to quickly show you, so we do have those 4 green stalks planted with our garlic, and then I'll also show you the other 2 green stalks in the back that has all of the garlic planted as well. And as I have shared a couple of garden tours earlier, we are going to be doing a separate video on harvesting ginger and turmeric. I've had really great success with growing them in the grow bags, and so I just wanted to show you how they're doing right now. So hopefully this video will come out, I want to say maybe in the next month, give or take. I'm not really sure. It just depends on when I have time, but I will be making a separate video for these. All right, now let's go take a look at the backyard garden. All right, I thought we would start on this side of the garden and then just work our way down, since we do have the green stalks here planted with garlic, and I just showed you the green stalks on the driveway that's planted with garlic. But everything's pretty much the same, other than I still have to fill some spots, and then we've just had some more growth. So let's start over here with the snap peas on the trellis. The lettuce, I don't know, friends, the lettuce kind of seems like it hasn't done much except for this one. This one seems like it's definitely growing, but not quick enough. I'm not really sure why, but I do see snap peas, friends. Oh my goodness, actually, I have not been out here, friends. Look at this. We're getting snap peas. Oh my goodness, they're so pretty. So I'm thinking at least by next week, we could probably start harvesting quite a bit of snap peas on here. I'm not really sure about the list, but I will tell you earlier, friends, before I started filming, back there, I found a rabbit. It was in my green beans and it hopped away. So I'm actually surprised this lettuce is even here still. So I've got squirrels, rabbits, and insects, but it is what it is. I am right by the woods, so that's to be expected. And here's a great example. That leaf was chomped off. I probably should, and I don't know why, and I think I've said this the last couple tours, I probably should put covers over these plants in the bags. And then I still haven't planted in these bags that I cleaned up. I just left the leeks there. I'll definitely be planting something in there. I just haven't yet. And then here are the green stalks. You guys, I still haven't had them leveled. I do plan to do that this week. So these will be standing straight up, leveled on the ground so they don't fall over. But we do have the garlic planted in here in both the terracotta and the blueberry. And then this one is meant for onions, but I'm going to be planting that not until March time. So in the meantime, I will definitely be putting things like broccoli or kale or some cold hardy type of veggie in here for the winter time. While we're over here, I do want to show you some of the bags that I put those random peppers in. There's actually quite a bit of peppers, but I am not going to harvest any this week. So we have this one right here. I also actually have that bell pepper, but I'm going to keep that one there. And I just have a lot of little random peppers everywhere. And experimenting with throwing a lot of my leftover pepper plants that I didn't have the heart to throw away in here is really making me think very differently about pepper plants. So if I ever have extras, I might just be doing this every year, because you guys, I really just, like I said, I have a hard time throwing plants away when they're doing so good. I actually don't put a lot of attention on these bags with these folding trellises. I did make a separate video on how I put these in the grow bags, but I have really enjoyed having these in here for the snap peas, for just anything trellising, cucumbers, tomato plants. They have been really good. And so far, everything is looking good in the bags that I've planted so far. And the grow bags that I have the bush tomatoes in, I've said this before, but I really do like growing bush tomatoes in these bags with these trellises. I think this is something that I will be doing every year. I also have and still have a lot of clusters. Oh, I have one right here. Oh, look at that. See, that one's not a good one. That's okay. But I do have a lot of clusters of tomatoes on here still, and they're just all growing. So we're just waiting for them to turn a little blush. I do want to mention this plant right against my stairs. So I have a cherry tomato that is literally growing right out of the ground right here. I've shared before, I want to say it might have been, I think it's 2 garden tours ago, that if you just take a cherry tomato or take a tomato and just throw it in the ground and smash it in the soil, and you could possibly get volunteers, because this is pretty much what happened. Is I just got a bunch of volunteers this year, and I know it's because either tomato fell or just seed fell, like my lemon balm and my Tulsi holy basil, and I love volunteer plants. And friends, as we have been doing the last couple weeks, I'm just gonna go through a lot of these beds with all of my tomato plants and just harvest anything that needs to be harvested. I forgot this tomato. Let's grab this one. I'll grab this one. I feel like I say this every week, but there's so many green tomatoes, and I just love that I am harvesting a little bit each week. By the way, before I go in the very back, I just wanted to show you my comfrey plant. So my husband built this square box planter, and I decided to put the comfrey in here because I just think having comfrey is a great idea. It's a good fertilizer, it's medicinally good, it's just overall wonderful, and it comes back every year. And look at how luscious it's looking because the weather has just been really nice. We've kept up with watering because we haven't really had a lot of rain. Now we did lose, I want to say we lost one over here because I had 5 in the planter. I'm not really sure what happened to that one. I might just get another one. But these are starts that I bought from Azure. I give monthly Azure hauls, and sometimes I'll buy fertilizer and I'll buy starts from Azure. And these are some of the starts that I bought, and they've been coming back every year. But I just had to show you how luscious and green and beautiful they're looking. Now I'm gonna come back this way so we can work our way over here. But I actually just realized that I had planted green beans in here weeks ago, and friends, I can finally harvest. If you can see all those green beans, I'm surprised actually that the rabbits haven't gotten to this yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and start harvesting some. One thing I want to point out, friends, this is why I like making these little bamboo teepees, because I can just put the bush green beans in between to kind of help hold it up, although it was kind of falling down, but that could have been my daughter watering or breeze or the wind. But either way, I just propped them back in there, and it has really been very helpful. All right, and friends, look at, we do actually have some green beans over here too, but they're still kind of small. And you know what I just realized? I'm like, it's looking kind of like there's nothing over here. And I just realized, you see all these tops, they were bitten off, and that one was bitten off too. So, you know, this is just what I have to deal with being, you know, with a garden right by the woods, like I said, and it's really not a big deal. I do have a lot of green beans, so I don't have to have any more. I was just hoping to get a few more before the season ended. Well, I'm just gonna hope that I can get as many as I can before they get to it. Oh, look at this yellow one. This is really pretty, which is fine. I mean, I guess rabbits have to eat too, right? But there's actually quite a bit over here. I wasn't even really paying attention to this because I feel like I just planted these, even though I know it's been a little while now. So, but I'm really glad we're getting some more green beans. And then the cabbages over here are doing good. Now there has been some major bug pressure, you can see, and I'm going to show you on the wood bed as well. But you can see this one definitely got very chewed up. Now here's my thing, is if the middle is intact, let me see if I can zoom in. If the middle is intact but the leaves were really eaten, I will leave it there and see what happens, because sometimes even though the outer leaves were chewed up, if the middle part is still there, then sometimes I've had it still produce food for me, so I don't throw it away. But this is a prime example also why I have backup seedlings too for things like this. There's no tomatoes to harvest in these 2 beds, but you guys, let's go take a look at that one Napoleon sweet pepper that we had seen before. Okay, it's still not turning blush yet. We're gonna hold off on that, but this is pretty exciting to see. And then look at the clusters. Look at the clusters of tomatoes. I actually just spotted a red tomato right over there, and I'm gonna grab that real quick. Sometimes I want to expand my garden even further, and I know I can, but honestly, friends, I really shouldn't, and I really can't, because I can barely just manage what I have now. But when I see all this, I'm like, oh, a bed would look good here, and an extra pallet would look good right there. It's so hard not to keep expanding the garden. We do have some jalapenos right here as well, but I'm actually gonna leave those. And then, oh, okay, so that actually looks like a goner. Let me show you something. Okay, hopefully you can see that middle. Do you see how it is just gone? That's a goner. There's really not much you can do about this. So I'm gonna have to toss this and get another start. Next to it is green beans though, so I'll take those, thank you. I will say though, I know during this time for cabbage and collards and broccoli, it really is a hit or miss because you've got the heat still because it's still very warm, at least down here in zone 8B. Then you've got all the insects and the caterpillars, and I got rabbits and I've got squirrels. And so this is why I want to point this out, friends. This is why I love to plant cabbages, broccoli, and all sorts of different starts in various places in case there's spots that get infested more than others, or the rabbits like to come and eat them, or the squirrels. And so between my driveway and the green stalks and then various spots throughout the garden, I try to plant as many things as possible so that I can at least harvest something. Before we continue though, I do want to give you updates on the pallets of carrots. Now this pallet seems to be doing a lot better than this one, but sometimes carrots surprise me because I think these last two rows are Napolis, and Napolis usually do very good for me, and sometimes they really do surprise me. So we have Napolis, Scarlet Nantes, Caravel F1, Romance F1, which seems to be doing really good, as well as, let's see, oh, Deep Purple F1 right here. I have them in rows going this way, and then I have Glow Stick Sunrise Mix going that way, and then I have St. Valerie. This is actually seed that I got from Azure Standard, and so far they're doing really good. I cannot wait to harvest carrots. Now this is, I want to say, I can't remember if I've grown carrots before in bags. I know I did in my green stalks, and I know I've done them in my raised beds, and they all did really good. So I wanted to test all of these bags with just carrots on the pallets to see how they do. And so far, friends, they're doing really good. Something I do want to harvest with you all is the collards, because you can see the trash cans from the Dollar Tree. They are smashing the top. So I am going to harvest this one as well as that one. And then there's some over by the bucket garden. And then I'll see if there's any green beans in these pallets over here. All right, so I grabbed as many green beans as I can, and I still have not planted in the spots that I did clean out. You can see some of them were cleaned out. I still even have that from when the rabbit bit that. But I am thinking about planting garlic because I do have leftover garlic, friends, and I think I'm gonna wait a week to plant garlic, and I might even do these 2 pallets. I'm kind of thinking out loud right now because I would like to experiment. I can't remember, friends, if I grew garlic in bags or not, and so I'd like to try out an entire pallet or maybe even 2 just to see how they do. Since I've expanded extra pallets back here, I have enough to grow other stuff because I do like how it gets partial shade and sun back here. I've had a lot of success with things because of it. So I might do that. I'm not sure yet. And with regards to the newer trellising system, everything is just wonderful. I love this new trellis that my husband had built for me, but everything's growing really good. That lettuce is still going to be going to seed. We're going to let that go to seed and hopefully collect seed. Let's see, is there any? Oh, hello. I didn't see you there, honey. Okay, I'm going to grab some green beans here, but everything else is growing really good. There's tomatoes still growing. I have a tomato plant right here still. It's still doing pretty good. And then we do have all of those kohlrabis, and we have Swiss chard right here, and those are all growing really good. And then this side that I have everything covered is still growing really good. Now I have not made up my mind when these start to get really tall what I plan to do. I'm probably, like I had mentioned before, I will put the frost cover over them because they're going to start to outgrow these little trash cans. But here's the Swiss, or the collards I should say, that I want to harvest from here and here real quick. And then we're going to see if there's any peppers, and then we'll see everything that we harvested at the end. I'm actually just going to go through some of the peppers. I don't really think there's actually a whole lot to harvest because we've been harvesting so much every week, and there's a few that I want them to get just a little bit larger for me. And with the nights getting cooler, I think they're not growing as quickly, but let's go ahead and see if there's any. I do know that there's some cayennes that I do want to harvest real quick. All right, so we definitely have some cayennes. Grab these. Actually, friends, I just spotted this over here. Oh, look at that. I didn't get it in time, friends. It got chewed up. That's okay. That is okay. It's gonna happen. Let's go see if there's any other peppers. I do want to keep grabbing the really red Tabasco peppers, so we're gonna grab a few of these. I do want to quickly show you this bed and just briefly show you that bed, but first, let's go ahead and see if there's any peppers. All right, this poblano is definitely ready to be taken, but you guys look at all those little baby poblanos. I'm telling you, this is a big producer. Once they start going, they are like nonstop producers. I love that about poblanos. Definitely still have these peppers here, but I want them to turn blush before we start taking them, just because I'm not in a huge rush. We've been harvesting so many peppers every week that we're not eating them as quick. So when I don't eat them as quick, we do freeze dry them or cut them up and put them in the freezer to get ready for the freeze dryer. So either way, it's good. But if I don't have to harvest them right now, I'm gonna leave them on the plant. And then if it gets close to our frost date, then I'll just start harvesting the rest, let them hopefully turn blush or color in the house, and then eat them fresh or freeze dry them. Look at this bell pepper, it's so pretty. I really am gonna miss these. I mean, I know before you know it, guys, spring and summer is gonna hit. I feel like time goes so fast now every year. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, but I just feel like time does not slow down and it just keeps getting fast. Like I feel like it was just summertime and it's already fall and it's going to be winter before you know it. It's just kind of crazy to me, but so far I've really enjoyed having these peppers in here. I think all the varieties this year, friends, have been fabulous. It's going to be extremely, when I tell you extremely difficult to pick varieties next year, it's going to be very hard because I feel like everything has been fabulous this year, even in the grow bags. So I don't know, it's gonna be really tough. So here's what I wanna share with you, and then we will end and look at our final harvest. So you can see there has been some bug damage, but again, just like I showed you in the back, if that middle is intact, friends, just leave it and see what happens. The best thing to do when it comes to having a fall garden or any garden, no matter what season it is, you want to come out every so often and just check your plants, because insects have life cycles. This one got really hit pretty good, but insects have life cycles, and if you just stay on top of your plants and pick them off and just keep an eye on them, just a few, you should be fine. And a lot of times I've had plants just bounce right back, and they've often really surprised me. And I want to quickly add something. All of these starts that you see were from the nursery, so they came out to be about 54 cents per start. Now I start a lot of my own seeds, as you have seen in past videos, but I'm starting to think that sometimes it's really worth getting starts to have in your garden if you don't have time, or let's say you did start some seeds and for some reason there was some issues with insects or whatever the case may be. You're not only supporting your local nursery, but think of it this way, and this is how I'm thinking about it. This start that was 54 cents is now going to turn into a beautiful head of cabbage. And friends, an organic head of cabbage is way more than 54 cents. And I know how this has been grown because I grew it in my backyard garden. And that is the way I personally look at things when it comes to whether you start seed or you buy starts from a nursery. Because for me, the price of groceries is just, they're astronomical. And they just keep getting higher and higher and higher. And between starting seed and maybe buying some starts once in a while is so worth every penny and every second and minute that I put into it. Oh my gosh, friends, there was a rabbit under there. I would have totally gotten him on camera. There's the culprit. You guys see him? Oh my gosh, he's so cute though, or she, I don't know. What are you doing, friend? I see you, sweetie. Honey, I see you. I know you're hungry. Okay, I'm gonna try to walk. Oh, it's gonna go away. Yes, I see you. I'm surprised you're not running off. Do I not scare you? Oh my gosh, that rabbit is so cute, friends. If you weren't so cute, you little stinker. You and your squirrel friends, I'm telling you. Look at, oh my gosh, friends, let me see if I can get a close up. Are you looking at me? I can't tell if you're looking at me. Let's see if I can get closer. I can't believe this rabbit is not moving and I'm getting closer. Look at you. Oh my gosh, friends, this is so fun. I would totally get a different angle because I know the trellis is in the way, but I'm afraid he's just gonna, or the rabbit's gonna run off. Yeah, I see you, sweetie. You're so cute. Please don't eat my food though, please. Please don't eat my food. I see you. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me film you for a little bit. I see you, you're right there. Please don't eat my stuff though, okay, sweetie? Go on. Come on, go on. Go on. Look, you must like me, huh? You're not afraid of me? I see you. Oh my goodness. Yes, I see you. It's like he's trying to hide from me. It's so cute. Yes, I see you. Go on. Go in the forest or the woods. I keep calling it the forest. It's not the forest. I see. Look at you. He's so funny, friends. Okay. I cannot. All right, I don't know where he went, but that was super cute. Well, I wanted to show this last bed too. I'm not going to take the insect netting off because I am definitely losing light and I want to show you the final harvest. But so far, everything is good in here, and this is exactly why I have this covered, for reasons like that cute little sweet rabbit. But again, there's still insect pressure under the insect netting, which is kind of funny giving it that kind of a name because the insects somehow still get in there. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this is all growing very beautifully. I do have a lot of broccoli in here. I have a lettuce. I have that pink amaranth growing in these two squares. I can still hear that rabbit, and everything's growing really good. Friends, did you see that rabbit? Wasn't that so sweet? Oh my gosh, if they weren't so stinking cute. That's probably who's been eating all my stuff back there, and maybe even going through the bags. I thought it was the squirrels, which it probably might be half and half. I really don't know, but I cannot believe that rabbit did not run off. I'm so glad I got that on camera. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what we got for the, let me say that again. Let's go ahead and see what we harvested today. All right, so we got a little bit of everything minus a lot of peppers because we've been getting a lot of peppers, but these are all of my plum tomatoes. So I have regular sized plum tomatoes, and those really tiny ones are also plum tomatoes as well. So I have them on this side. Then we have the cherry tomatoes and just regular sized tomatoes. And then I threw the red cayennes in there. And then friends, we got a lot of Swiss chard. Now I will say I did harvest some that were, I don't know if you can see that have some bug damage, so I'm going to probably toss those out. But sometimes, friends, I will keep, I'm trying to get the focus is over here, so I will sometimes just rip off the stems and use that as well. I won't just toss the entire thing. And then I do have a couple of Tabasco peppers, and then this little cutie pie. Look at this little, okay, let me get in focus. This little poblano pepper, so very, very pretty. All right, let's go ahead and see the green beans now. All right, then we got some green beans, a little bit more than last week, but we've been consistent every week, and that is all that matters, is just a little bit each week. So I'm very excited about the harvest again this week. Well, friends, thanks so much for coming along with me on another weekly garden tour. I love to share my garden with you all. Everything from the harvesting to what's working and not, me talking out loud to you guys and just sharing my thoughts. I really do look forward to these every week. And just know, friends, that I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And I want you to always remember this, friends. I want you to be encouraged, stay encouraged, and always stay inspired. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.